Hey everyone, Ashley here. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new here. Today we're going to be talking about my September favorites. So I have some decks here I'm going to share with you all, and that is like the main thing that I'm going to be sharing. I am going to share a deck mod that I accomplished this month and I'm super happy with, so I will get into that as well. So let's just go ahead and dive in. So as you saw if you watched my September, like the decks I plan on working with for the month of September, if you watched that video, you already know what one of these decks is. And I also mentioned a couple of other Oracle decks that I planned on working with, but that actually that didn't happen. Surprisingly, I actually got pulled into a different Oracle deck and began working with it. And the experience with it has been amazing. It's been very insightful. And so let's just go ahead and dive in here. I'm going to get the main deck out that we're going to be talking about. Sorry, I'm just figuring out where I want to set this. Okay. So this is the main tarot deck that I worked with for the month of September. And it is a favorite. Oh my goodness. This is the Witch Sister Tarot by Julia Jeffrey. I love this deck. First off, I love that it's Celtic based. Julia Jeffrey lives in Scotland, so she did base this deck off of Scottish witches and witchcraft. And I just love that because, like, as soon as I opened this deck when I received it at the beginning of last year, I immediately felt connected to my Celtic ancestry. I did. And so I have that way into this deck, and I feel really close to them and to my heritage. But then also, the artwork's just stunning anyway. And I did my review of it over on Patreon if you want to see that. So I won't go into detail here, but the artwork captivates me. And I just did a lot of studies on this deck, things that, pulled me in. And I just feel like the work with this deck for me is never ending. It is one of my home decks. I do say one of because I feel like I can have multiple. There's some that just really speak to me, and this is one that speaks to me. I can work with it like a regular Rider-Waite-Smith deck. I can work with it to connect with my ancestry and my lineage. I can work with it to feel empowered on my path. There's just a lot here, and I can work with it to connect to my goddess, the Morrigan. The Morrigan is in this deck as well, and I've really connected. There she is. I really connected with her this year, and it's because of my Celtic lineage as well. So there's just a lot of connections for me with this deck, and so I absolutely love it for that. And so the Oracle decks that I really worked a lot with this deck was the Lost Oracle. I really love this deck. It's by Fiona Horn. This deck and the Witch Sister is just fantastic. They're beautiful together for one thing, but the messages I was receiving were just so good. Now, normally I would just pull one from each, or I would do like one Oracle card and two of the Witch Sister. But I'm just doing this to show you guys like what they would look like together. It's stunning. It's stunning. And the guidebook to the Lost Oracle was just very insightful. This deck also is very empowering and for the witchcraft path, or for the path of the witch. And so I just love them two together. They fit so well. I should also mention too that I love the guidebook to the Witch Sister Tarot because Julia does give different, she includes the stories of the witches that she included in here, but also the divinatory meaning. She gives you a little bit of something different to think about. Like it's, kind of the same, but just the way she words things and stuff, I don't know. It gave me different things to think about and a different perspective. So those two I worked with a great deal. They're definitely favorites. I worked with the Lost Oracle with my Tarot of Vampires as well, and it also worked really well with that. So this is a very versatile Oracle deck for me. I feel it fits with a lot of my decks, and so I just really love this one. And the messages, like I said, that I've been getting have been very, very good. And now I know in my like I said, if you watched my September decks that I plan on working with video, I did share these two. And then I also mentioned the decks that I wanted to work with the Witch Sister for like the second half of the month or so. Like there were just a couple other decks I wanted to work with. The Compendium of Witches being one. I did not get to that one. I don't feel connected to that one. The Compendium of Witches Oracle deck. It's beautiful, but I wish the guidebook had a little bit more to it. I don't know. I struggle a little bit with that one. So I did not work with that one. However, a deck that did pop up for me a great deal is the Kali Oracle. Um, I didn't, I don't know, this deck just randomly popped in my head. And I know that when a deck does that for me, it means that I need to work with it. So I did. I began working with this one, and I do love the artwork. The artwork's very beautiful, by Jimmy Manton. This deck, it has been spot on. I even did a dream analysis reading, because I had a dream and I knew basically what the message was for me from that dream already, but I pulled cards around it, and for my tarot vampires actually, and the message was really good from that. It confirmed what I thought it meant. But then later on in that evening, when I felt called to pull this deck out, I pulled a card from the Kali Oracle, and the message from the guidebook was spot on. I was just blown away. It's just amazing. So I actually really love Alana Fairchild's guidebooks. The messages are very meaty. I do highlight and take notes and things in it, and it's been so good. I love pulling from this deck and then just taking a good 10 minutes to read through that message, because there's so much in there. And it's been, like I said, really spot on. So I have, even though they're from two different, pantheons, I still would pull the last half of the month here. I would pull a card from the Kali Oracle and from Witch Sister, and those two really spoke well together as well. Surprisingly, the messages have been very good, and so I've really loved that pairing as well this month. The last deck I'm going to share with you guys, my last favorite for the month, which I did work with the Witch Sister as well. And I actually pulled from the Kali Oracle, Witch Sister, and this deck, all three, which you would think would not work, but it really did. So this deck right here is my Call of the Morrigan Oracle deck. Now, the Call of the Morrigan, of course, it does go with Witch Sister because it is the same pantheon, and the Morrigan is in the Witch Sister deck. This deck, I also finished a mod on. So earlier in the year, I had put this black backing on it because I liked the backing that was on there, but it just didn't fit the whole vibe of the deck for me. So I did add black contact paper to the backs. I also did the edges in red because red and black are the Morrigan's colors. I did scan the back though, because it is still a pretty image, and I do have it in a frame on my wall, but I wanted the main focus to be on the fronts. It was just too much having that on the back. But anyways, then I decided that because this was like matte cardstock and it could get scratched pretty easily, and this is like a textured backing, so I was afraid that when I would shuffle it, it would like damage the front of the cards. So recently I decided to do a mod on it and add glossy, clear contact paper to the fronts, and I love it. It turned out so good, in my opinion. I absolutely love it now. It did make it a hefty deck. It's nice and thick and hefty, but I love it. And I love the shininess on the artwork here. But anyways, this deck, absolutely a powerhouse and amazing. It connects me straight into the goddess, the Morrigan, and all her many aspects and abilities and places. I love this deck, and I can't wait to like really work with it some more now that the mod is over as well. Like, I've got it all done. I'm really ready to sink in more with this deck and continue working with this one and getting to know the Morrigan even more. It's beautiful. I absolutely love Naomi Kornick's artwork. This is a stunning deck. It really is beautiful. So yeah, those are my favorites for the month of September. I had to think about that because I just did my October video for Patreon. Oh my goodness. I can't believe it's almost October. But those are my favorites. It's a short and sweet list. I feel like this month just flew by, but I've really enjoyed the experience of working with these decks. So let me know down below how your month went and what you are working with currently. I would absolutely love to know down below in the comments. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you guys all in the next one. Bye.